Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Live from iRacing's virtual Kansas Speedway, welcome sim racing fans to the Apex Racing League Truck Series live on Apex Racing TV. Happy that you're all with us for the penultimate round of the season, round number 7 of 8 from iRacing's Kansas Speedway. My name is Joshua Lee. I'm alongside Austin Knight here in the commentary booth with Marco Barbanera down in the virtual production trailer. In Austin, we are down to just 2 races remaining before we crown our Pro and Am champions. Close battles at the top of the points sheet for both of those classes. A little bit closer in Pro than in Am, but still anybody's game in both classes.
It certainly is, as we carry on our wayward son and get ready to the end of the season. I'm about to be slapped by Marco, the commentary, for even saying that. But yeah, championship is coming down to an end. 2 rounds left here at Kansas, and I am excited for the end of the season, Josh. And, oh man, Kansas is such a tricky track to get right.
And we'll be talking a little bit more about this track here in just a moment, taking a look at those AM class standings as well. The Pro Class standings, Andrew Navarro currently holds the lead. There's the AM Class standings. Kevin Kittleman there leading the way by 7 points over Shane Dunn, or excuse me, 13 points over Shane Dunn. Dane Baird a little bit closer behind. Kev Copeland, Victor Lewandowski rounding out the top 5. Really in both of the Pro and AM point standings, we're looking at a battle between the top 2, maybe 3 when it comes to the championship. A bad day here in Kansas from your points leaders could very could well change the scope of this championship. But as we continue on here with qualifying, talking about this racetrack, Austin, relatively unique, not really in how it's built, but how it races. A cookie cutter intermediate track on the NASCAR circuit, but take a look as they dive into the corner. In qualifying, they'll be down by that bottom line, but it was one of the earliest tracks in iRacing to really favor the outside line. That is one of the most dominant lines at this course because it saves tires and is ultimately faster through a long run.
Yeah, that outside line is definitely better on the tires because the banking actually curves up from the bottom to the top, but the bottom line is faster over a one-lap stint, but the top line over a multiple lap stint is going to be faster and a lot easier on those tires. So qualifying versus race is going to be completely different, and it's going to be pretty tricky, especially on these restarts where you see on whole tires that bottom line can get pretty sketchy to be on.
And ultimately in qualifying seems to be the best line to take as we see a majority of the drivers heading down there. Quick fun fact, this was where Marco Barbanera, our producer tonight, got his first official sim racing win in 2015 after starting online sim racing in 2002. So it took him 13 years of trying, 13 years of frustration, but he finally got the win here at Kansas. Congratulations, Marco, from 6 years ago on that win, and clearly still holds a special place in his heart as we are bringing it up here live on the broadcast. But Fraser Smith currently holds the top of the standings right now with a 31.078, only about 2/1000ths of a second back is Norbert Leitner, but we still are yet to see Andrew Navarro put in a time. We are still yet to see Dane Baird put in a time. Bradley Wilson in third, not too far behind, only 7/1000ths of a second back, still sitting in third. Let's see where Andrew Navarro's gonna go, only up to P17. Let's see if this second flying lap is gonna help the 42.
Yeah, it's doing good, but also a little trickiness happening right now is, as this is the new season update, last week when we were racing, they were on the old shock setups. And now they've been reduced to only 3 shocks to select from here in the trucks, and only a less amount of chances to switch. So a lot of these setups that these guys were already running on have changed, and the handling of the trucks have changed. So I won't be surprised by some of these drivers having a little bit of struggle with the trucks, but definitely the car model is struggling a bit, so you aren't going crazy. We do know the front left tire is eating into the pavement right now. It's just where they're going to put the PJ1 anyway, so we're fine.
And a little bit interesting to see also how that's going to develop throughout this race. Whose setups were messed up by the new shocks and whose setups maybe are going to act a little bit better under the new shock settings. Do we take a look at Alessandro Dalladone, expecting him to eventually start driving in reverse here under qualifying. But
Josh,
top of the board, Andrew Navarro currently there. Yes, Austin.
This is a fixed series, though.
Oh, my fault then. So then maybe the fixed setup having a little bit of issues with the shocks. It could still come up in development, especially if they haven't raced on the new shocks throughout a long run as well. They could also be a little bit different, and also lack of practice could...
Yeah, setups could definitely change from old series to new series. I know the IR18 just got a handling update and just blew up setups for the second time of the year. And yeah, that's going to be crazy to see how everything goes. But yeah, new Xfinity, new trucks, and new NASCAR. Well, actually, no, NASCAR shocks are still the same, but they reduce the amount of shocks. And I like how they're slowly introducing setups the higher you go and make it easier to learn into things. And so, good move, iRacing. I like it.
5 minutes left here in qualifying. Taking a look at Andrew Roos. He was your pro class winner from 1 week ago at the Eldora Speedway. Let's see what Roos can do here on his second flying lap. First one not too good, 32.294. Now as he sits in P22, going on to the back straightaway off of turn 2. Let's see where he can improve on time. The Hungarian for wannabe sim racing team. Go right down there to the bottom line, getting a little bit loose. You can see that car getting a little bit sideways as it goes through the corner, but he goes all the way down to the apron to the grass and across the start-finish line. What will it be? A 31.075, only good enough for third. About half a tenth off of your current leader, Andrew Navarro, as Dane Baird tries to improve on his time.
Yeah, Dane jumped up into 14th, but look at this field. Look how tight the top 7 is, all within a 10th of each other. And then that 10th goes all the way down to Neil Butler in 8th place. Like, that is one tight field right there. And then everybody else staying within 2/10, and, you know, new shocks, everyone just kind of learning how to drive this. Some drivers liking it, some drivers not. It's going to be a lot seeing on how these drivers adapt to a new car and a new suspension setup.
Adapting is what is going to be the name of the game today. And also, gotta wonder how the top runners of the points are going to adapt, because like we mentioned during the open, a bad run here could lead to a loss of the points lead, or could lead to a bit of a gap change in between the lead and second place in not just one, but both of our Pro and Am points standings, and could change how everybody races in 1 week's time for the finale from the Phoenix Raceway. Only 2 rounds are left of the Apex Racing League Truck Series, but don't worry, your Thursday afternoon or Thursday evening, wherever you're tuning in around the world, time slot here on Apex Racing TV will be filled by the Apex Racing League Touring Car Series, which will be debuting right after we finish the Apex Racing League Truck Series here. So make sure to tune in for that. A full season of action coming from touring cars as the Apex Racing League Truck Series takes a break. Alessandro Dalladone across the line, getting in some last-minute practice as he finishes his 2 flying laps, and there's the last one in. 4th place, 31.072. What a time from Alessandro Dalladone. The one qualifying session where he doesn't drive backwards, Austin, he's up in the top 5.
Well, that's what he's going to do. What he's really going to do, he's going to enjoy this track, and when he really puts his mind at ease, really puts his mind at work, he's really going for it. And I see Alessandro pointed forward to get during the qualifying session, so I don't have to mute my microphone and laugh my head off.
Good. We did not want to have another one of those incidents here. That'd be tragic. Truly.
I know. I just got the stitches like in there. They're just now getting right there, so I don't have to stop plucking at them. So it's just perfect. And I want to start season 4 with my head on. And oh, Mark Redford jumps up to provisional pole by a near inch, 1/100th of a second.
Now, talking about Mark Redford, we didn't see much of him through the beginning portion of this season as Janos Motos goes across the line. About a minute left here in qualifying. But Austin, I do think we need to get to the topic of Mark Redford, because you remember back to Auto Club, round number 5, he did get the win in the pro class there, his first win of the season, and also started a streak of Andrew Navarro not winning. He was the first person to beat Andrew Navarro that wasn't Norbert Leitner. Broke Navarro's streak, and now we have another driver going back with Kevin Kittle, man.
Gosh dang it, guys! Dang it, Alessandro. Why do you have to start a trend?
Well, back to the topic of Mark Redford. I do think he's coming alive in the last portion of this season, and I do think if he continues what he's doing, qualifying on the pole here, we could see a 2-time winner this season in Mark Redford.
Indeed, and hey, Mark's got the best seat in the house.
The qualifying set to wrap up. Janos Motos, wannabe sim racing team, grabbing some last-minute practice, and it looks like at least one or both of his laps were disallowed. Let's see if he can get another one in, and no, he will not be able to. So he was going for another flying lap, but unfortunately, all of his times will be disallowed. As we get ready to go racing here from Kansas, a top 12 shutout, or top 10, excuse me, shutout for the pro class. It's Mark Redford on the pole, Andrew Navarro to his outside, Norbert Leitner, Andrew Roos, and Alessandro Dalladone rounding out the top 5. Fraser Smith to the outside of row 3 with Bradley Wilson and Max Wolf sharing row 4. Dan Parmalee, Neil Butler gonna share row 5. Jason Nethery on the pole for your AM class as Tim Perry will start P12. Back from there, Martin Shirley, Kev Copeland sharing that 7th row. Dane Baird, Mark Hutchinson on that 8th row on the grid. Sam Fitzpatrick, Kevin Kittleman, row 9 with Victor Lewandowski and Mark Tranter on row 10. But back from there all the way to the end of the field, Lucky Brown, Fernando Torres, Alex Rogenbuck, and Janos Modos. All 24 of these trucks will take to the grid here in the pit lane at Kansas Speedway, and we get ready to set them loose on what is a relatively good day here in Kansas. Turning into the evening as we're about to cross over in about 9 minutes, cross over to 7 p.m. in sim time, and the weather today in Fahrenheit is 69 degrees Fahrenheit, 72 degrees on the track temperature. So a rather cool Austin, and it's only going to get cooler as the sun sets.
It is. The sun sets, sun's going down, and everybody is, well, tire's going to be at a premium here. And, you know, it's all going to be about how you treat these tires and how everyone goes for these 83 laps here at the beautiful, beautiful Kansas Speedway. And I don't know if you've ever been here before, but it is such a beautiful facility. There's a casino on the exit of Turn 2.
I have never been here before. Do want to eventually visit the Kansas Speedway. It also provides some really interesting racing on the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity, and Truck Series when they're here in the real life, and provides some exciting racing here in the sim as well. Tons of storylines as we get going here into round number 7 of the season. How is this round going to set up for the finale in Phoenix? 83 laps on the docket tonight. The base car pulls down and away, and Mark Redford is going to lead the field to green. He gets on the loud pedal, and we are racing in Kansas.
Green, away we go. Redford and Navarro side by side. Everybody taking it very easily. Already looking on that way outside is that 48 of Roos, who is just staying on that outside line. Look at Alessandro Dall'Adone sneaking his way down low, up into second place with Navarro on the outside. And, oh, where is Redford going to defend right here? Alessandro's got to run up the inside. He's got a nose right there. Redford's going to be forced up the track just a little bit. Dall'Adone is going to go for the lead on the end of the first lap. And, oh, Redford got a little bit loose mid-quarter.
Very loose on exit is Redford. A couple other cars getting loose.
Off the wall.
He makes contact with the 15, and the caution flag is going to fly for the first time. And multiple cars getting caught up in this one on the front straightaway. 4 or 5 cars involved. Mark Hutchinson with damage. Norbert Leitner, I believe, just barely missed it. Sam Fitzpatrick way in the back. It looks like he might have had a separate issue, but Tim Perry gets turned off the front. He started for the pits. Okay, well, there was that. So for the number 98, but Neil Butler looked like he got contact with the 83 of Tim Perry, sent the 24 of Lucky Brown into the grass, but a handful of other drivers involved here.
Lucky was clear of that, but just as I was saying, at the end of lap 1, people are going to get a little bit squirrely. Looks like the 83 of Tim Perry, he was up the track and right into the 15. He might have been recovering from it, and you can see the drivers are already trying to avoid it. The 33 drove down into Lucky Brown. That's what sent him through the grass, and then 33 got T-boned right there. Neil Butler had nowhere to go. It looked like Neil was staying on the outside as well. Tim just got a little bit loose mid-corner, and yep, Sam Fitzpatrick, I don't know if he's got eyes in the back of his head or anything. He's going to be starting for the pits, and so did Norbert Leitner.
Interesting to see from Leitner. He is currently second in the point standings. Only 8 points back from the leader, Andrew Navarro. So definitely, maybe could have been a penalty as well. We'll find out exactly what that strategy was, if it was even strategy at all, or if it was a penalty that they had to start in the pits from. But either way, they didn't get caught up in this first lap incident or any of the first lap chaos. And
yeah, they proved sigh of relief right here.
Yeah, and now Norbert Leitner can start to work his way back up through the field because he is in second in points, and being 8 points back, he needs to make up a ton of points on Andrew Navarro. And right now, Andrew Navarro is not the fastest truck on the track. That'd be the 61 of Alessandro Dall'Adone, who currently leads the way.
Yeah, Alessandro knew where to put his truck on that opening lap. Just keep it down low. Nobody's really built that momentum on that outside line. If he got the good run coming out of turn 1 and 2, that he could just have his nose down there and force Redford up the track. And Redford, once he was up on the track, you saw he was getting a little bit loose mid-corner. That's allowed Bradley Wilson and Navarro to jump up ahead of him and force Redford into that second row on the outside line. So Alessandro Dall'Adone in that hot seat right now. I see Tim Perry making his way into the pits. Let's see that wreck again and just see Yeah, the car already left him when he went up track. I think he just spun up the wheels, and yeah, there goes the engine. He's trying to fight it back right there, but oh man, it was a hefty impact.
Well, first caution is just about over, and we're getting ready to send them loose again. Go right back to racing here from Kansas Speedway. It's Alessandro Dalladone who leads the way. Bradley Wilson to his outside. Andrew Navarro falls to P3. Mark Redford from the lead on the first lap, now to fourth place on this restart. He is getting ready to go back to racing there on road number 2. But Alessandro Dalladone up at the front of this field. Let's see if the 61 has some long run pace, because we've seen short run speed out of the 61 before. Nothing new to see Alessandro Dalladone close to the front of this field. I think it would be rather new to see some long run speed and some long term gains from the 61 of Alessandro Dalladone. Let's see what happens here on this restart as we get right on back to racing. Pace car back down and away, and we are back underway, going on to lap number 5 here from Kansas.
Green, and immediately Wilson dives down to that bottom line to cover off anyone, and watch Wilson keep that bottom line as Alessandro's going to be taking that qualifying line and just stay down there. You can already see 2 drivers favoring that outside line. They're going to go for that entire outside move. Now Alessandro getting off the wall, making sure nobody can get under him on this run and continue on as everybody's just shuffling for position. Wilson now favoring that outside line. Watch his wheel movement right here. He's going to be trying to go for that switchback. He's got the momentum. He's going to cross over Dalladone through the tri-oval onto the inside of the pavement, and now side by side for the lead heading into turn 1.
Dalladone slid way up the track. That led the door to be wide open for Bradley Wilson. Now could be open for Mark Redford. You're on board with him now, right off the nose of the number 31 machine. Gonna try and look to the inside. No, he's not. Gonna stay right in line. And now, as we get done with the first lap, onto lap number 2 of this run, you can see everybody starting to favoring the outside line as Redford goes down to the bottom. Gonna peek the nose to the inside of Alessandro Dalladone in the 61. He'll pull up side by side. Can he complete the pass before they make the corner? Similar to a dirt track, make the slide move happen as Kev Copeland goes to the pit lane.
Yeah, Kev helping into the pits. I think there might be, he was involved in that incident, but you can see that outside line has that speed on the back straight, able to carry on Alessandro Dalladone around the outside right there. A little bit of a wiggle for Wilson right there as Redford dives down low. He's going to try to squeeze him off the exit right here. And now Wilson taking the defensive line all the way down low. Here comes Dalladone, going to be side by side with Redford. Redford looking down to the inside right now. We totally have 3 cars battling for the lead. And, well, if you really think of it, we almost went 3 wide right there. They could have been. Redford diving down low. Wilson staying up high. They're going to be side by side. Alessandro's going to have to decide which route that he really wants to take. That outside line is the faster line, but Redford putting on a big fight, and he doesn't want to be squeezed off right there. Alessandro, he might go for the switchback right here. He's already looking a little bit low. Here comes Wilson looking down to the inside right now. Alessandro's going to follow Wilson down low. Might give it a little bit of arrow push off the back end and use that air off the front bumper and try to push that car forward. Wilson down into the lead now.
Bradley Wilson gonna pull ahead as Redford falls back to P2. Does look like the slide job that has been coined can work here, and we see Redford going for it now, diving to the bottom, sliding up in front of the car that you're trying to pass. The catch-22 is when you slide up, you scrub off speed. That allows the truck behind to go right back to the inside, make the pass happen on you. It is going to be difficult to get those passes down, as it looks like that crossover might be stronger than the slide job. Is Redford gonna slide up?
That is close.
Crossover again from Bradley Wilson. The Shenandoah Shine number 51 back to the bottom.
Yeah, the Shenandoah Shine car is very shiny right now. And I feel like there might be a few bottles of that being opened up right there as, oh man, that was crazy. Speaking of crazy, Andrew Navarro's having a little bit of rough time back there behind the 42. Well, in front of the 48 of Roos and Shirley, as the leaders are having their own fight way up the grid. Well, in the midfield, everybody's side by side by side. We're 3 wide through turn 2 right here.
On board, Jason Nethery in the number 34, fighting from 12th. Battle for the lead goes to Bradley Wilson. So we'll go right back by Mark Redford.
Alessandro has fallen off.
Turn 4. Yeah, Alessandro Dalladone falling to 3rd now.
Might have hit the wall,
That'll
I
get
think.
passed by Fraser Smith in the 67 as the Hornets' nest continues as they come across the line. Side by side at the front of this pack, it's Navarro and Roos. Row 2 in this pack looks to be Martin Shirley and Kevin Kittleman. Then row 3, it's Jason Nethery and Janos Motos as they all continue to fight. Lockie Brown in the 24, going to keep watching back there in P14, but everybody up here battling for their own spots. From 8th on back, up to the top of the racetrack goes the 99 of Shirley. Kittleman going to cross over to the bottom as they single file out in front. Andrew Navarro going to hold on to P8.
I want to call it the Hornets as we're calling the Beehive, because how many wannabe SRT guys are in this pack?
There is a good handful of them as they race their way onto the back straightaway. And wannabe sim racing team has been one of the strongest teams this season. I don't know the official words on the team standings, but taking a look at what they are, it is wannabe SRT in the lead by 8 points over Lunatic Racing. So it's been a strong season for all the wannabe sim racing team cars. Definitely looking to be the same here, but with Bradley Wilson out in front, it's all Lunatic Racing up there as Alessandro Dalladone gets loose again, sends Fraser Smith to the bottom. Dalladone going to try and hold on to the outside as Parmalee and Max Wolf now going to join the fight, 5th and 6th.
Yeah, big fight right here. You see Fraser Smith with a head full of steam getting past Dalladone and jumping up into 3rd place now, getting right in front of Alessandro. And Alessandro's not going to dive down to the inside. He's going to stay on that outside line game, and he's never left that outside line after that first lap of his when leading this field back to green. But now everybody's getting up the pace. Everybody now learning the track. Look at Alessandro going down to the low side as Fraser Smith comes up the track.
Oh, Dalladone barely going to get up in front of Fraser Smith in the 67. Doesn't go for the crossover. He'll go right back into line with the number 61 there in P4. So Dalladone luckily going to hold on to that 3rd spot as everybody continues to race. Still rather aggressive, not too aggressive right now, Austin, but definitely still you can see that aggression, wanting to get spots and not wanting to give spots up as the battle for the continues as Redford goes to the bottom. But we're seeing a bit of a long run here. We've been green now for the better part of 10 laps. If we get a long green flag run, could see green flag stops come into play really for the first time this season.
Remember Charlotte, we didn't even have a single caution then or retirement. So that race just through your mind?
I wasn't here for Charlotte, so it did not cross my mind at all.
You were cursed. Got a replay right here. This is Dane Baird. He's slowed up and lost spots here. I'm not sure what's happening, but I feel like he might just be struggling with Jason Nethery. And oh, Dane's loose. Dane is loose. Dane is loose. You see him fighting his wheels. Dane might have damage. Oh, front right. Yeah, Dane's hit the wall. Dane might have suspension damage. He might have been turning away, and that while turning away, he hit the wall, and that might have nicked his front right. So the Carriers competition team leader, Dane Baird, really struggling right there. That's not going to help him out at all as we ride on board of Kevin Kittleman sporting that Martin Sports car right there. And, you know, he's now pointed all 4 wheels front ways instead of backwards. And qualifying, hey, this might have been a strategy. Start up from the back, move up through the field safely. And, hey, Kevin Kittleman went from, 9 spots back to sitting in 9th place. Good run by Kevin.
Oh, Bradley Wilson getting a little bit into the wall with that left rear as he works his way back into the corner, right rear, excuse me, trying to hold off still Mark Redford there in the 31 as Kevin Kittleman falls to Janos Motos, the 55, able to get by 4P9 as now they're starting to spread out, starting to settle into this run. And as Wilson now leads, Mark Redford goes right back to the bottom to follow him. They need to be careful with this battling up here, Austin. They do not want to burn those tires up more than they really will over the course of a run. Kansas isn't known to chew up the tires, but if you run them hard enough down on the bottom like we're seeing Redford doing right now, they're ultimately going to start to burn up, and eventually you're going to be falling like a rock through the field as Wilson going to go down and block Redford.
That's a beautiful block by Bradley right there. That's going to bundle up Mark just a little bit, slow him up, and you can see on that car on the outside, here comes that 61. Alessandro Dalladone slowly making his way. Here comes Mark with that block and that inside line. Great for slide jobs up there, but you can get immediately taken back on that back straight. But Mark Redford, pole sitter here, he definitely knows how to go fast around here, and he definitely knows how to run that bottom line. And now it's going to be tire management, fuel management, and how long you want to go, and when are you going to go into the pits. Because we are looking, as everybody starts to spread out, the only thing that can happen is a caution can happen for a single car incident, or one car leading one of these groups hits the wall and causes something big to happen. But now that everyone starts to spread out, I think we're looking at a good green flag run.
On board of the 70 of Alex Rogan-Buck sits in P18 as Fernando Torres and Lewandowski go in side by side as Fraser Smith gonna hit the wall coming off turn 4. He lost a ton of spots as well. Now might fall to Max Wolf as well, go down into P8. Looked like a hard hit, rubbed off a ton of speed.
Like I said, you're going to have one of these cars hit up the wall. That could cause an incident in front of everybody else. Here's Fraser Smith just sitting behind Dalladone, and I think when he tried to turn in just a little bit too late. Tires, just lost all the grip and boom, into the wall. He's kept it up in there, and he's going to stay on that high side, letting everybody know and just that, hey, he's hit the wall, and everybody's able to get off the throttle, get down low, and stay clean. And it's not like what we saw on lap 1, and Fraser, he's already wanting to get back at it. See that little bit of damage, but I don't think he's going to have suspension damage. I think the same has happened to Dane Baird as well, but very heads up driving by all these drivers. I know they sometimes, when they get into an incident, they let everybody know, hey, I've hit the wall, don't stay off the high line, because that's where I'm going to be keeping my car, or I'm going low, everybody else go up high when they have an incident. This is probably the least car-to-car contact of all the ARL leagues, because the drivers, in long runs, because the drivers let everybody know where they're going to be. Unlike a certain
battling at the
series.
Yeah, still battling at the front here between Wilson and Redford. It hasn't settled down even after they've been on these tires now for, I want to say, about 20 green flag laps, about 25 laps total, coming to 26 here. But Dalladone hasn't gone away too much, still sitting in third, and Redford's still trying to get around Bradley Wilson. Don't think it's too early to say that this is going to be an uphill battle for Andrew Navarro, who sits in fourth. They're going to be an uphill battle for really both of the Lunatic Racing drivers, because Mark Redford was able to get by him. And looking at the best lap times of the race, and even last time by, Redford fastest in both categories.
Yeah, Mark Redford definitely one of the fastest cars here. And, well, he definitely knows where he wants to be. He's going to be trying, I think he came up with his mind that he's going to be fighting for the lead, but when he's not going to be able to get that lead, he's going to be staying right behind Bradley Wilson. They both go down low. Bradley defending from Mark, and Mark, I would say, don't fight Bradley. Stay behind him. Use that draft, lift off the throttle, use that fuel to your advantage, and continue with him, because you can make it to the end. And you see Bradley already struggling with those tires. Yeah, ease those tires with that draft, and then go into the pits with Bradley. Now, if you go into the pits after somebody, the car who goes into the pits first is most likely going to be winning this race, because of the speed difference that new tires versus old tires have around here. So you're just going to have a shorter time in the pits because of the extra fuel in your tank. So if you think 2 steps ahead of the guy, then you go into the pits at the same time, you're going to be going for a shorter stop, because you've been saving fuel as Wilson's just taking the brunt of this air.
You can see him so loose on the exit of these corners, and even through the middle of the corner as well. Seems to be comfortable with it, still running well at the front of this field, but Redford was fastest last time by. Dalladone faster than both of these leaders, but Redford going to take a peek to the bottom. They'll pull up side by side for a moment around the exit of the corner. That outside line just too strong on the exit of these corners. Leads Wilson to just power right back on by. They'll come across the line, put 20 laps 29 laps down, and we will go on to lap number 30. About 54 to go here from Kansas. Still a long ways to go, but this battle for the lead not settling down yet as Redford goes back to the bottom. This time, not even going to pull up side by side as Wilson runs the outside line. Going to keep that spot, but once again, last time by, Dalladone faster than both of these front drivers by roughly about a tenth.
He's got the draft of the 2 cars ahead of him, and he's not being stuck in that little bad cushion that these cars sometimes form up. So outside of it, he's getting sucked along, and oh, somebody scraped up the wall right there. A little sparks flying from I think that was Bradley Wilson as Bradley defends onto the inside. I think Bradley might have clipped the wall, but it wasn't a big clip, but I did see some sparks. You can see Bradley really treacherous on those tires. He's really turning that wheel up there on that top line. And it looks like Mark, he sees that. He keeps trying to go down low, but ooh, Mark, what's happening here?
Ooh, gets loose off 4. Gonna take a trip through the grass. Thank goodness here in iRacing that splitter doesn't dig right into the grass, or we could be talking about Mark Tranter being in the pits right now out of this race.
And a lawn maintenance man going after him and just chewing him out.
Very much so. Yes.
Yeah, we love our Kentucky bluegrass here. And oh, we got smoke on the back straight. Smoke on the back straight.
Lucky Brown. Caution is out. Second caution of the night. Gonna come out midway through this run.
Back at the end of that car.
We just lost it off too.
Big, and then snap overs here. Somehow kept it from the wall. Lucky Brown showing off his car control skills to keep that truck just in tip-top shape. He's already got a lot of damage back there, but you're gonna see over rotation right there, and he somehow caught it. Tires a little bit overheated heading into there, so when you're going to be doing that, just lift off the throttle, keep the speed up, but don't try to force the car. Let the car roll in with you, but he's already been into the wall a lot. He's been side by side with somebody. He's taken that middle line, and yeah, off the exit, just car lost it, but look at that car control and how he stayed it. This is on board of Bradley Wilson. When you see a car spinning right in front of you, Bradley doesn't even slow down. Well, technically, the car was already off the track, so he's good. But first caution of the night, second caution of the night, first caution this late in the race after a long run, and everybody dives into the pit lane. So are we going to be seeing a pit lane exit as everybody starting to funnel for positions? No pit speed limiters in these cars, so the closer you stand to that pit speed limit, as Alessandro Dalladone looks like he's bump drafting. Oh, Mark Hutchinson's missed the pit entry. Look at Alessandro Dalladone. He's side by side with Redford. Oh, Mark is the lucky dog.
Yeah, cannot pit when you're a lap down with the leaders. He looks like either realized that a little bit too late or was just pulling down to the bottom for a little bit of trickery here. And it clearly tricked Austin apparently here in the booth. But as everybody comes into the pit lane, Bradley Wilson comes out first. Who's going to come out second? Look at that! Andrew Navarro with a lightning pit stop. It's going to be a Lunatic Racing 1-2, and we go back to green as Wilson's out first. Navarro out second. 0.3 faster in the pit lane. Redford with one of the slowest pit lane times. And a penalty for Dalladone on exit.
Speeding in the pits. Oh, no, Alessandro. And where he's pulled out, too, that's not going to give him 1 penalty. That's going to give him 2 penalties. Unsafe pit exit and speeding in the pit lane. We might see Alessandro have to do a drive-through.
We'll have to see what happens with that penalty.
Looking at the pit stop times, the fastest team in the pits is Lunatic Racing 1-2. And so Alessandro, he pulls off, and yeah, that is a unsafe pit exit as well. So I feel like not only is it ELL, I feel like he might have to go through the pits again. But the Lunatic Racing guys, they really knew what to do in the pits because look at that. They're 1-2. And their pit stop times were 0.3 faster than Mark Redford. So it looks like they found out a strategy to really get that. They might have not fully fueled up their tanks.
We'll have to see what happens with the strategy as they continue to race through here. Because when we go back to racing, looking at maybe lap number 38, so that'll put us to somewhere around the range of 46, 45 laps to go. I think it's going to be tight on fuel with that 40 laps, but I do not think we're going to see more green flag stops, because I do believe we'll at least have 1 or 2 more cautions. But I also think if these drivers play it safe, they can make it all 45 laps on fuel here.
Yeah, knowing the Lunatic guys, they love working together. It's going to be easy for them. I think they're expecting another caution to come out. And knowing these restarts, caution, breed, caution babies, as Jordan Taylor, Marco's best friend, talks about, or Marco's second favorite commentator, I believe. I'm waiting for Marco to confirm this with me. But,
He's the favorite colleague, it sounds like.
Okay. Jordan, you and me, fist fight. Don't bring, do not breed Rodney, okay?
Whoa, okay.
I can fight Jordan. I can't fight Rodney at Sandstorm.
Well, enough fight planning here live during the Apex Racing League Truck Series. Getting ready to go back to racing off the second caution of the day, closing in on halfway done with this race. We'll be going racing to lap number 83. We'll be going back to racing on to lap number 37. 47 laps to go here from virtual Kansas. Round number 7 of the Apex Racing League Truck Series, and as we will finish off the season in 1 week's time from Phoenix, your current pro class points leader Andrew Navarro sits at the front of this field, and now the leader of the AM class points, as it currently sits, is sitting a little bit closer back in the field. Kevin Kittleman in P8 as Wilson gets on the gas. Lunatic Racing 1-2, and as they come across the line, Wilson gonna lead the way. Navarro pulls into line as Redford and Roos sit side by side, further back for third.
Yeah, great, and immediately Lunatic dropped down low, and looks like Navarro's on blocking duties now, and I expect wherever Redford's going to go, Navarro's going to follow. And look at this, Andrew Roos, he's going to shoot up the inside right here, get onto the inside of Redford, jump into third place. And here comes Andrew. And look at this, side by side right behind Navarro. This is not what Mark Redford wants. And look at that, there goes Navarro down low to keep Roos behind him. And now Roos going to stick his nose down to the inside. Navarro can't block right there. They're 3 wide behind him, as that's Dan Parmalee getting out of the way. Tim Perry with that repaired boosted car. And the 55 of Mudos back there.
Racing down the back straightaway, Deladone trying to hold off the number 15 behind him as we work up to the front of this field. Kittleman gonna work his way by Dan Parmalee. Off the triangle, I should say, they come. P8 for Kevin Kittleman now as he makes that move. Stuck on the outside is gonna be Max Wolf early in this run. That inside line, relatively preferred. That outside line comes into play a little bit later on in the run, roughly about 5 to 6 laps after the green flag of a long green flag run. And as we start to see a couple trucks move their way up there, Bradley Wilson, race leader, still running in second place. But Andrew Roos, winner from 1 week ago at Eldora, now finds himself in second.
Yeah, he's up into second now. Look at this pack, very tightly packed now as everyone is on those fresh tires, cars repaired and everything. So it's like the start of the race that we never got right here, as everyone's picking their fights and being smart about it, staying on that top line. They know if they play this smart, they can make it to the end of this race. So won't be expecting a lot of this, but as the sun goes down, the track's going to be cooling off a lot more. The only piece of track that is in sunlight that I believe is just a little bit of the back straight, since we are in a natural bowl, as some might call it. What would that be? What's it called? A natural bowl in the ground, a crevice or a hole?
Are you thinking of a canyon?
No. That's way too big. This is not a canyon. It's like a natural amphitheater. There we go. And look at this.
I don't think that's huge effort, but pretty wide.
Coming out of turn 4.
Redford in the middle, Motos on the bottom. Who was on the outside? I believe that was Max Wolf making a look to the outside there.
What is this?
Tim Perry gonna get squeezed by Redford.
Tim getting very loose right there. This is so tightly packed. I feel like some of the guys' spawners right there are losing their minds. Like, that snuck up out of nowhere. And the man who's probably got a little bit more nervous right there is Bradley Wilson up front. And he's joined by not one, not two, not three, but the entire top 10 is on his back bumper right now. That's a little bit scary when the entire group closes in on you. And look at that. Roos forcing his way down low, trying to get a better exit than Wilson, but Wilson on that outside line. He's got a better run, but heading into the corner. That's Roos all day. You see Wilson going down low, trying to force him into a bad line that he can't take. That's going to be very risky because now Wilson has to go to the outside line. And here comes Andrew Roos going for the lead. They both have the bottom line, so that bottom line is going to be a lot faster than what Wilson did. Wilson thinking a little bit more laterally than a long pace right there. They're really racing each other, and Wilson is not going to give up that lead at all. Look at Navarro making a move. He does the slide jump onto the 18 of Wolf, and he gets into third place. Andrew Roos backing off throttle, letting Wilson die down low, and here comes Navarro on that outside line. He's going to try to go for that outside switchback, and Roos with the slide jump, and now here comes Navarro. Swinging around the outside, diving it up to the inside. Navarro up into second place.
Oh, Navarro gonna barely squeeze up there as Roos gonna fall to third. Motos and Max Wolf gonna trade spots. Everybody running in a pack like we saw it earlier this season at Daytona. Here at Kansas, Dane Barrett all over the back bumper. It's Tim Perry back there for P9, but the entire top 10 now running within roughly about 1 second of each other here at Kansas. Is sliding up the track, and the line goes Motos a little bit further back. Wilson trying to pull away from the rest of this field. Andrew Navarro and Andrew Roos rounding out these top 3 spots. Navarro trying to hold in and close in on his teammate Bradley Wilson there in the lead, but cannot make any spots up. Where can Roos do there from P3?
Roos is really going to have to fight his way up there. But I feel like Andrew just needs to be a little bit cautious. Whoa, 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 whoa! We got a spinner. That's a 99 of Shirley going through the tri-oval.
Martin Shirley spins. Caution is out third time tonight. And that is the driver for SimTech Racing out of Rumsey, United Kingdom. Number 99. Oh, that was a chain reaction. It looked like the driver to his outside. Kittle, I don't know who that was. There was a driver to his outside. No, that was Dan Parmalee that hit him, I believe, in the 71 machine. Taking another look back, yes, it was. There was a 67 of Fraser Smith on the outside. Believe that might have caused Martin Shirley to pull a little bit further down, and the number 71 of Dan Parmalee had his nose in there going into turn 4. That led them to slam into each other, and yes, it did. That's exactly what happened. He reacted to Fraser Smith hitting the wall. Parmalee was there, spun him around, and he took a trip into the Kansas Speedway grass.
And back into the pits, and oh, that's a cone runner right there. You're being fined. And a little bit of contact hitting into the pits. Looked like Bradley Wilson might have hit there. Somehow they got that cone to get back there. Man, that's one brave marshal here at Kansas. As Alessandro Daldoni overtaking Sam Fitzpatrick into the pit lane as they head into the pits here for the second time today.
Let's see who's going to come out first and if any strategy is going to be taken into play. Seems like everybody going to take 4 Goodyear tires and get back out onto the racetrack. Out goes Bradley Wilson. Anybody going to beat him out? Andrew Navarro going to look for it? Nope, not going to be enough. He'll go into P2. Coming out third will be Andrew Roos. Mark Redford comes out 4th. Tim Perry comes out 5th. But Janos Motos staying out on the racetrack. Actually, it looks like he might have taken 2 tires on that stop. Yes, he did. The 55 is back out on the track, but he's going to pull down to the apron. Not sure if Janos Motos meant to do that 2 tires.
Yeah, that is very tricky, but yeah, he did go into the pits. He saw us snuck through there before we even got our cameras. While we were looking back through the field, he's already done his stop and pulled out in front of everybody. And yeah, Janos Motos, 2 tires. Hey, you've been on the track for at least 13 laps, 14 laps. So the left sides are pretty good shape. And so here's that pit. Yeah, he had a very early pit box. So he just kind of merged with everybody going into the pits. 2 tires on the right side. No tires. Fuel and go. Okay. Janos, going just for a little bit of gas. Feels like the tires are good enough to stay on it, and you won't see that big drop off that everyone sees. So, hey, 10 laps, you don't really need to change tires, so it's in that window. So, Janos Moda is playing a different game than everybody else as he leads the field, but he's going to be wanting a little bit of help up there as Wilson and Navarro are right behind him.
So as they work their way down the back straightaway, third caution of the night. And we did a long green flag run after that first caution. About a medium green flag run under that second caution. Didn't go for too long, but still roughly about 10 laps. Now when we go back to racing, we'll be closer to roughly about 30 laps to go, more akin to what we saw in the first run of this race, in the first long run, I should say, of this race. So we know they can make it that long on fuel, so I don't think fuel is going to be a main issue now. Really depends on tires and if we get more cautions and when we get them.
Yeah, cautions when we get them are really going to be the big factor right here. Everybody halfway into this race, we got 33 laps to go. 34 laps to go as we see our lap cars drive through the pace car. You can absolutely do that in iRacing. It's not solid like in other games, and it, you know, gets you a clear head and a good way to cool off right there. But the lights are off on the pace car. Motos and Wilson are going to be side by side. Janos Motos trying to think of what his best bet would be on these older tires compared to everybody else. Are we going to be letting everybody else race around you, and you're just going to be sticking to that outside line, or are you just going to be letting them by and try to win this with brains? Because this is a very tough call for Janos. He does have track position over everybody else, though, so the wannabe SRT driver leading the race and the biggest team in the field pulling a strategy call with him.
Let's see what happens with this strategy and if it will play out. Janos Motos is going to lead the field to green for the first time tonight. Bradley Wilson to his outside. Andrew Navarro sits inside of row 2 on P3. Andrew Roos to the outside of that second row in 4th. Mark Redford rounds out the top 5 inside of row 3. We're back to racing. Motos on the gas a little bit early. Bradley Wilson looks like he might have spun the tires. Same thing with Andrew Navarro. They both fall back a little bit. Roos now going to punch his way into top 3. Let's see what he can do about trying to get by the 51. Motos going to come down to cover the lead, but Wilson makes the crossover work to the outside. Here comes Navarro to the bottom. They're going to try and split Motos 3 wide down the back. The 55 going to fall down the middle, and Lunatic Racing splits wannabe sim racing team.
Oh, Wilson is loose. Wilson is loose. He got into Roos right there.
Wilson
Almost
very loose
caution.
in the middle, makes contact with Roos. None of them make enough contact to spin each other out, but now Kittleman gonna move up into P4. Redford to second. He's going for the lead on Navarro as they all fight in the back.
Big mess up on the restart right there. We got everybody having a little bit of trouble. Dane Baird having a little bit of loose action as he gets onto the inside of Bradley Wilson. Wilson has damage on the rear end of his car as it's Navarro and Redford battling out for the lead. Mark Redford, our pole sitter, he knows how to fight around you. He knows how to drive here. Mark Redford, the oldest driver in the field, looking for his second win.
What can Redford do to try and get this win? He goes down to the bottom, gonna try and get around Andrew Navarro, and that is exactly what he's gonna do, and Motos gets loose in the background, almost making contact with another truck. Motos gonna fall way down the order, and contact made! Oh, goes Daladone! Max Wolf involved, more involved up in the front. Caution is back out with 31 to go.
That was a massive crash. We got 8 cars involved, at least. Big impact and big implications. I see Lockie Brown heading into the pits right there with a blown engine. Kev Copeland, he's got the face of reaction right there. See what happened. And those Wolf and Daladone getting into each other. And oh man, Tim Perry, I think, might have hooked Wolf off into Daladone. And that is not what you want to see. You see the 15 getting into that as well. And yeah, Tim Perry, Alessandro came down low on Tim Perry. Didn't see that Max Wolf was down there as well. They kind of just slammed into each other right in front of Tim. And then that crash just continued on to everybody else. See Sam Fitzpatrick dropping down to the apex right there. Gets into the grass, doing a little bit of lawn work right there. Sam with a big avoidance. This is Victor Lewandowski. And Lockie Brown gets clapped, and Lewandowski's going to have to do some off-roading right there. And then there's Tim Perry, and oh man, Tim gets turned around by the 67. Once he thought he was clear, he was unfortunately tapped from behind. A big slap from Lockie Brown, and Tim's not going to be happy about that. Second incident for Tim. He's going to be struggling to keep that fixed car across there, but Smith, Perry, Copland, Moto Staladonic, and Wolf into the pits. Mark Tranter and Lockie Brown have already... Mark Tranter has not done his pit stop yet. I don't think he was involved, but Lockie Brown has done his pit stop. So everybody going in there right now to get those car fixed. All of our leaders stayed out, though.
And I do think it's safe to say that 2-tire strategy for Llanos Motos definitely...
It was just fuel. Just fuel.
Not pay, just fuel even. Did not pay out for Motos as we continue to work under the yellow flag here from the virtual Kansas Speedway. Round number 7 of this season as we work through this caution period. It's Mark Redford up at the front. It's Andrew Navarro in second place, Kevin Kittleman in third, Bradley Wilson fourth, with Dane Baird rounding out the top 5. And interesting to see Dane Baird close up to the front here now, Austin, because early on in this race, it was very much dominated by those pro drivers. Now we see 2 AM drivers here in the top 5 with Kettleman and Baird.
Yeah, those 2 AM drivers are really, well, they're going for it, too. As I'm looking at the standings and everything, and this has been a really dominating season, but Mark Redford, I think he just loves this place. After getting his first win in the series in round 5, 6th place last round, he's really gone on an uptick on how he's performing here.
Has been a good end to the season for Mark Redford. Can that continue is the real question.
Also,
he still has...
Yeah, Andrew Roos looking for 2 in a row after the wild card race at Eldora last week, where he took the win there.
And Navarro now breathing down the neck of Mark Redford. This is one of the most high pressure situations I think that he can really be put into, the 31 of Mark Redford, because he has the current points leader right behind him. And throughout this season for Andrew Navarro, it has been so dominant. I mean, you get
first place,
pressed
8th place,
hard pressed to find anybody.
10th. Last round, he was involved in a wreck early on at Eldora, fought his way back to 10th place, where his rival Norbert Leitner got a good top. Norbert Leitner has not finished outside the top 5 this season, where he's currently in 8th. We're going to be trying to see if Norbert Leitner can get back in and keep that streak alive. As the lights are off on the pace car, they're sitting in turn 4. Hey, let's get cracking and rolling.
2 by 2 as they work off turn 2 onto the back straightaway. Redford leading the way.
At track position and ovals. They look the same.
With Redford leading the way, Andrew Navarro to his outside. Gonna need another one of those restarts that Redford has been doing quite a bit tonight when he's in the lead, is just get away as quickly as possible. But Andrew Navarro so strong there from P2. Let's see what happens on this restart. We are inside of 30 laps to go. When they come across the line, it'll be 26 laps remaining. Here from virtual Kansas, pace car pulls off. Redford, Navarro on the front row. Redford's still going to go a little bit early. Catches Navarro.
Oh, he got immediately into the wall. Fraser Smith spun the tires. I think he might have got a rear ended right there, but he went straight up into the wall and restayed green. But Redford, that late restart really caught Navarro off as Kevin Kittleman sneaks his way down low and up in front of Andrew. But you see, Kittleman has a little bit of damage on that bottom on that left-hand side. Looked like he might have got rear-ended. Watch out for that car to be a little bit wiggly right there as the lunatic drivers staying up high as Sam Fitzpatrick is in a battle with Dan Parmalee. They're side by side. Andrew Roos having a little bit of traffic. That's Bradley Wilson on the outside. It's Kevin Kittle and Redford are side by side for the lead.
Redford trying to hold on to it. Kevin Kittleman trying to become the first AM driver this season to get an overall win in this series. Kittleman down to the bottom as Andrew Navarro looks high. Andrew Roos up there with them. Bradley Wilson joins the fray. Dane Baird trying to hold on to P6 now as Norbert Leitner goes to the bottom. But to the outside goes Navarro. What can he do on Redford? Redford comes up to cover the spot, pulls right back down to the bottom, side by side for second. Navarro gonna pull Kittleman.
Now here comes Navarro on the back straight. You can see the difference in speed right here. Navarro's got a big run. Is he going to look down to the inside? He is not. He's going to stay onto the back of Redford. Now here goes Navarro. Mid-quarter lane change right here. Andrew Navarro going to try to shoot the moon and force that gap right now. So we're side by side for the lead. Redford, he's got that outside line, but everybody looking down low. They're 3 wide for second place, and there's contact. Redford gets turned around and into Bradley Wilson. Big
More
crash.
Involved on the bottom. Baird involved. Parmalee involved. I believe Fitzpatrick got damaged. The 12 is nailed. Multiple fast drivers involved in this incident, and this puts us under caution for the 5th time.
Norbert Leitner made it through there. Leitner is in 4th. Andrew Navarro in the lead. And, well, this has happened involved. This is just trying to fit 3 cars in a place too tight to fit. I think a phone booth is wider than what they were trying to do right there. Oh my gosh, that is a massive incident. Redford just, well, he was squeezing the bottom line. The middle car was staying in the middle. The bottom car, he just got a little bit loose. And, well, really, that's just wrong place, wrong time. Let's ride on board of Leitner. See, no, that's not Leitner. Big contact right there. That's Jason Nethery. As he just really was blindsided by that. Here's on board of Dane Baird right in front of him. He gets himself into the wall, and there's Wilson getting caught up the track, and Dane gets into the Sam Fitzpatrick. Oh, Sam. I think Sam's shaking his head like, really? Really? Oh, that's a commentator murder right there. As
Fitzpatrick with a ton of damage.
Yeah, Sam, how do you blow his engine from that small contact? But as we were in the pit lane, I gotta tell you one thing. We have 2 cars staying out. Alessandro Dalladone and Janos Motos and Martin Shirley. 3 cars staying out, and Alessandro Dalladone going to try to pull a big upset right here for the lead. Let's ride on board of Alessandro right here. He sees this happening, gets off the throttle, onto the brakes. Sellers on the outside, just trying to guess where all these cars are going to go. Is slowed down to a near crawl right here, and he's just going to stay up because gravity works, pushing everyone down. And hey, it's worked out for him. Dalladone up into the lead with 21 laps to go. They last went into the pits on lap 54, and that is just 8 laps older than Andrew Navarro, who now has the freshest tires in the field. Martin Shirley looks like he got a penalty, and he'll be getting a EOL. But we got a very busy pit lane right there. It's Navarro, Kittleman. Navarro, Roos, Kittleman are net top 3 on these new tires versus Motos and Dalladone, who will be controlling this race. Janos Motos up 22 spots. Moving his way through the field. He's got a little bit of damage on that car, but this is going to be very fun. Norbert Leitner update. He's down into 7th place, and he's trying to go for that top 5 streak. He's really going to have to fight. He's got Martin Shirley ahead of him, who hasn't gone to the pits since lap 47. So this is going to be a very weird one for Norbert. Try to go and get ahead to Andrew Navarro, the championship leader. And we know Navarro, he's going to be aggressive, but the car in the lead we know is Mr. Aggression, Alessandro Dalladone.
Motos and Navarro and Roos will control the start of this race when we go back to racing on the restart. Taking a short break here on Apex Racing TV, but don't go anywhere. The conclusion of round number 7 from the Apex Racing League Truck Series is coming up next. field doubling back up here at iRacing's virtual Kansas Speedway. We welcome you back to live coverage of the Apex Racing League Truck Series live on Apex Racing TV. Joshua Lee here with you in the booth, Austin Knight to my side, and Marco Barbadera down in the virtual production trailer, ready to go back to racing. As your top two, Alessandro Dalladone to the inside of row number 1 and Janos Motos to the outside of row number 1. Both did not come into the pit lane under this last caution. Martin Shirley also didn't come in, but he's set down in P number 7. Andrew Navarro, Kevin Kittleman, Andrew Roos, and Norbert Leitner, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, all on fresh Goodyear tires. Let's see how this restart is going to affect the rest of this motor race as we'll go back to racing with 18 laps to go. Pace car down and away. Dalladone's on the loud pedal, and we're back racing from Kansas. He's trying to pull away and get a gap over the rest of the field. How long is that gap going to last?
I'm going to give you about 2 quarters. Because immediately Navarro jumps up into 2nd place, using those fresh tire advantage off that restart. It's just barely fresh too, so this is a good gamble by Dalladone and Motos, but we saw what happened even just with a few little bit of laps, all these tires. These new guys with this draft and everything are going to have a big run up, and look at that. Navarro already looking down to the inside, but hey, these are 2 of the most aggressive drivers at the front. Are we going to be seeing a little bit of contact between them? Because we know how Alessandro likes to run things. And look at that. He's already defending every line that he can. Defending up to the inside. Navarro goes out wide. Navarro up to the wall. And Dalladone stays down low. And now watch this run. Dalladone defending the inside line from Andrew Navarro. Now he's going to come up the track. And look at that. Here's Andrew Roos on Navarro's inside.
Kevin Kittleman joins the fight as well. You talked about aggression. Alessandro Dalladone, about as aggressive as they come as they run down the front straightaway, keeping that door shut, making that 61 as wide as the racetrack. Lewandowski dives into the pit lane, and Andrew Roos dives for the lead. Andrew Navarro also going to go with him down on the bottom, and as the 61 gets caught on the outside line, the inside will prevail. As around to the lead goes Roos. Now going forward is Navarro to the bottom. Can the 42 complete the pass? Yes, he can. He's going to slide up in front of the 48, retake the lead, put Navarro back to the point as Kittleman and Janos Motos go side by side for P4.
That's very good racing right here. Very tight racing for the lead. 15 laps remain. Navarro staying on that outside line. It's been the dominant line throughout today, and these bottom lines are very ambitious. As you can see, Navarro just dipping a wheel into that secondary line. He's going to defend down low. Now that outside line's going to have a little bit of advantage. Kevin Kittleman, he is eyeing this lead right here. He's being safe and smart about this. He is not pushing his way down low. He's staying up high each time. And hey, if there's something happens, he's going to be in the best seat to avoid that by staying up high. And look behind him, it's the wannabe SRT guys, Motos and Leitner, going to have a little bit of fun and trying to be smart and work as a team right here in the back of this fight. And Motos sitting in 5th. Kevin Kittleman diving down low of Roos right here. And here comes Navarro, holding off Kevin Kittleman. Might give the Indy Autosports affiliated driver with Lunatic Racing. They both have the same logos on the car right there. And Kevin Kittleman, I think he's going to get a little helping hand from Navarro and try to help out his teammate in the draft right here. Give it a little bit of toe and give it a little bit of speed to get it into a affiliation 1-2 into the lead of this race. And look at that, Kittleman, he's got the space on Motos, but whoop, a little bit of more help from Navarro.
Still side by side. A lot at stake here for Kevin Kittleman. I think more than a front. Roos gets a shot from Alessandro Dalladone, sends him up the track, and now more contact. Roos hard into the wall in turn 2, and the caution flag is going to fly for the 6th time.
Dalladone was staying in the middle of the track, and Roos just drove. Well, yeah. Well, Dalladone didn't turn. He had a car on the inside. There were 3 wide heading into the corner. Roos just, I can't really tell what has happened there. Dalladone and Roos making contact, and Roos goes hard into the wall after 3 wide. Mark Redford, big side contact right there, and he can't believe himself. After driving so well. That's going to be damage. He's going to be sitting in the pits to the end, but you can see what's happening. He sees this, he sees this, he sees this. He's not caught it, but no. Oh, no. Caution out in crucial times, and Norbert Leitner, hey, he's in 5th.
So Kittleman came up, Dalladone came up into Roos, and Roos hits the wall, comes down, really uncontrolling of that truck, and makes contact with Redford. And as I was saying before that incident happened, I think the most, the driver up front that has the most stakes at hand right now is Kevin Kittleman. No, I would say Kevin Kittleman, because Navarro's leading the way. Obviously, we know Navarro can win, and Norbert Leitner still not in front of Navarro, so either way, even if Navarro wrecks out, that could be the only way that he loses the points lead. If he gets a solid finish up here at the front, doesn't matter what happens with Norbert Leitner, he'll keep the points lead. Kevin Kittleman, leading the AM class right now, he has the opportunity to be the only AM class driver this season to get an overall win in a race.
Well, that's good. That is extremely good for Kevin Kittleman. But Kevin Kittleman, when you think about racing in the ARL, you're racing your class. You aren't racing the overall guys. Though you are in the overall race. If I was Kevin Kittleman, I'd just stay on back of Andrew Navarro. I do not want to be racing that guy. My competition is Shirley down in 6th place. And Martin Shirley is on older tires than everybody else. And if I was using the SDK live timing app, I would know this.
Well, I think you could also make the case for why Kevin Kittleman wants to go for this overall win, Austin, and it's the fact that the points are divvied up by overall finish. It's not the two classes are split in terms of point standings, but they are together in terms of points earned. So if Kittleman gets the overall win, he's going to get a ton more points than he would if he finishes 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or just gets an AM class win instead of an overall win. But he has to beat Andrew Navarro first, which has been the strongest car all season long and still the strongest car here today with the third, fastest lap of the race. Andrew Roos and Fraser Smith just a touch faster.
Yeah, but Kevin Kittleman, he's leading his championship by 13 points. And the championship for the pros, Navarro, he's leading his championship by also, 8 points. I believe. Yes, it is 8. So Navarro has more on stakes of this than Kittleman, so he's going to be racing for every point that he has. Kittleman can take a little bit of a break because 2nd place for the AMs is Shane Dunn. And Shane Dunn is not Andrew.
He just wanted a detour, I guess. Okay, then.
Well,
that's that. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Austin, you were saying. Do you even remember what you were saying before that happened?
What just happened?
Well, as we will continue under caution, expecting to get the one to go this time, what is safe to say, an interesting but exciting race here from Kansas Speedway.
No, he did not just write that in chat. Did he go off track to write "Let's Go Navarro" in chat? That's his sponsor writing hit chat "Let's Go Navarro" at exactly the same time where he did. Andrew, don't text and drive.
I don't know if he runs that account, but he might.
I don't think he does. I don't believe he does, but it'd be funny if he did. Oh, what he probably did, he's probably dropped down there to cool off his tires, pick up some marbles. Just, I don't know. I'm out of words. Why would you do that? That is completely weird, but hey, he's leading the race in the championship. He knows more than we do.
Well, clearly. That's why we're up in the broadcast booth and he's down there racing in the truck series here on Apex Racing League. But 7 to go at the line. Time to get serious as the pace car pulls down. Navarro's on the loud pedal. Kittleman going to try and settle into P2 as the wannabe sim racing team teammates of Motos and Leitner going to battle for third. Motos going to take that spot. Leitner going to settle into P4. And as they all dive into the corner, Navarro going to put a good gap in between himself and Kittleman. 2/10 as they roar off to the back straightaway.
Yeah, rolling it up to speed coming out of turn 2. We see Daldone shooting the moon right there in the middle, 3 wide right here. And he jumps up into 5th place as Navarro stays on that outside. Here comes Motos, sending it up low, trying to hold off and give a slide job on Navarro. Navarro cutting the nose of Motos and trying to defend for the lead. 6 laps to go here. Kevin Kittleman on that outside line. Kittleman already playing that outside line strength. He's going to try to use that momentum to his advantage. Motos cuts him off. Motos and Kittleman make contact with each other. We see Leitner down low. And look at who's joining the party. Alessandro Dalladone.
What can Dalladone do? He's going to go 3 wide up the middle. Gonna look for P2. Motos on the bottom. Kittleman on the outside. He's going to get that spot as we look on board from Motos. That was Leitner on the bottom. Through the tri-oval, Dalladone to P2. Motos now gonna try and defend that second spot as Leitner comes back on the inside. He'll pull right back up in the line. What can Dalladone do? Does he have anything for Navarro at the front of the field?
He's got the best tires. He's got the best tires. Alessandro Dalladone went into the pits. He's got the freshest tires out of everybody. 5 laps to go. Can Alessandro Dalladone take his first win in the ARL Truck Series? He's definitely got the fastest truck on the field right now.
Down to the bottom goes Motos to try and defend that spot. Can he come up in front of Dalladone by inches? It's a yes! He barely comes up in front of the 61. Here's the crossover. Goes on the defense.
What a block!
Made, but the door is slammed. Dalladone goes up the track. Motos gonna hold on to P2. And as they fight for the second spot, Navarro leads them back to the line. 3 laps to go.
And here comes Leitner. Leitner got a great run. He's onto the inside of Dalladone. Kevin Kittleman getting a opportunistic 3rd spot out of this with 3 laps to go. Alessandro Dalladone, Italian aggression boiling under his skin right now. Definitely not happy with Motos. They're going to go 3 wide off the heading into turn 3. Alessandro staying on that outside. I'd say, Alessandro, that's the spot where you want to be. Use that momentum. You've got the grip around the outside. You can definitely hold it. He goes around the outside of Kittleman. Alessandro's still in 3rd place now. He's got Motos right in front of him. 2 laps to go. Here comes Alessandro Dalladone around the outside. Everybody use that bottom line. Alessandro can hold it around to the outside right here. And here comes Alessandro. They're going to door each other right here on the back straight. Alessandro Dalladone, 3/10 back. Alessandro Dalladone into 2nd place with Andrew Navarro up in the lead and up the road just ahead. But look how fast Alessandro is coming, like a freight train on a mission. Can Navarro hold off that 2/10 lead? White flag in the air.
What can Navarro do to hold off Alessandro Dalladone? They go to the bottom. Navarro gonna hold that spot. Dalladone is gonna need to throw it into turn 3. Here he comes. The freshest tires out of anybody in the top of this field. Dalladone to the bottom. Navarro can't do anything. Can the pass be completed? He slides up the track, trying to cover the door. He can't. Navarro takes it down at the line.
Sam Fitzpatrick takes the surprise win. Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable finish. Have you ever? Sam Fitzpatrick first career win in the Apex Racing League Truck Series.
I've never seen anything like that. Sam Fitzpatrick takes the win. Motos in 2nd, Kittleman in 3rd, Leitner in 4th, Navarro finishes in 7th behind Dalladone. Oh my God, what a finish, Sam Fitzpatrick.
Unbelievable. Sam Fitzpatrick with that win now becomes the 5th unique winner this season. Take a look at the replay. He gets 5 Motos on the bottom, sends it to the inside.
Oh my
and he
gosh.
is your unofficial winner. It looks like iRacing is ruling him as the winner. He will take home the checkered flag.
Sam, do not drive backwards. Do not drive backwards, Sam.
Another replay of this last corner. Daladone comes up, tries to cover up the spot. Nothing. Both of them get trashed.
Daladone came up the track right there. Can't believe what I just seen right there. Sam Fitzpatrick with the white flag. Just watch this final lap. Sam on the freshest tires as well with Daladone. Look how far back away from the lead he is. But watch him get around Motos. He's got a big run heading out here. Going on to the outside line right there. Fakes it down low. Motos defends down low. Sam just says, okay, I'll race it around the outside. If not, I'll take 4th place. But that outside line has such momentum. And here you see Motos getting a little bit loose. Had to get off the throttle. That Sam in the 3rd. Then he's seeing carnage ahead of him. Motos gets into the grass. Sam Fitzpatrick, hands in the air. Can't believe what he just saw. And he's burning it down here at Kansas. Oh my gosh.
So with this win for the 98 of Sam Fitzpatrick, he becomes the 5th unique overall winner this season, 5th unique pro class winner this season, and your AM class winner, Kevin Kittleman, is going to earn his 4th AM class victory of the season, and I believe unofficially the highest finishing AM class winner overall that we have had this entire season. Fitzpatrick wins it. Motos in 2nd. Kittleman 3rd. Leitner 4th with Mark Hutchinson rounding out the top 5. It's Daladone and Navarro who finished 6th and 7th. Contact coming to the line off of turn 4. Redford finishes in 8th. Martin Shirley 9th with Victor Lewandowski in P10. Sim Perry, Dane Baer, Dan Parmalee, Kev Copeland, Alex Rogenbuck top 15 with Jason Nethery, Mark Tranter, Fraser Smith, Max Wolf, Andrew Roos back from there. Your top 20. Fernando Torres, Bradley Wilson, Lockie Brown, and Neil Butler rounding out the 24 drivers tonight. And I don't think we want to waste any time, Austin. We're going to get to talking with the race winner, Sam Fitzpatrick. We know he's got to be on cloud 9 right now, Sam. Let's go back. We'll get to the finish here in a moment, but let's go back. Beginning of this race started from the pit lane. Was that due to a penalty, or was that strategy that you saw, hey, this first lap could be a little bit hectic, I want to make it through?
Well, you know, Josh, that whole race was just planned out. I knew everything that was going to happen at every single point. And yeah, that pit lane start was the first part of it. In all seriousness, I think I wanted to change my graphics settings. So I like put on the grid, and then I quit out, and then I missed the start. So that was the logic behind that one. So yep, that was a good start.
Well, now we'll fast forward to the finish. You were coming to the line, battling with Janos Motos for P3. Did you have any idea that Daladone and Navarro would collide like that? And then once they did, what were you thinking? Was your immediate response to go down to the bottom to miss the wreck, or was it get by Janos Motos and get the win?
Well, of course, me and Alessandro had the better tires, so I had confidence that, you know, if I could just get alongside Janos, I could just go around the outside of him through 3 and 4 and get the run out. So by the time I got out of 4, I was just about clear. And then, you know, I think it's just one of those things that you dream of, isn't it? Where you're 3rd place going to the final corner, the 2 leaders are passing, and you think, oh, they could crash. 9 out of 10 times it doesn't happen. But that time it did, and then honestly up to disbelief across the line. Because I mean, off the start, I was so slow. I was lapping probably about a second off the pace. I only bought the circuit about 15 minutes before the race, so I really wasn't very quick. But that strategy, I copied Alessandro's strategy, and I think that's pretty much what won it.
Well, you're not in the running for the championship, but with this win, it's your 3rd top 10 of the season. Can you take this momentum into the season finale at Phoenix and try and walk away with another great finish, or maybe go back-to-back when it comes to the win column?
Yeah, that would be, I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm not going to expect another race win, otherwise I'll just be disappointed on that one. But considering this season, I've had a dreadful season. Watkins Glen was good, but all the others have been absolute dreadful. Maybe Eldora was all right. I'm just not very good on ovals. So this is all the luck I will ever get poured into one. and yeah, put into this race. And tomorrow, I mean, I don't want to big myself up for anything, but tomorrow we've got the final round of the Super Truck Series, and I might win that as well. I mean, this is incredible. I never win anything.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here in the commentary booth, Sam. And congratulations, first win of the season here in the Apex Racing League Truck Series. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good to hear from the race winner, Sam Fitzpatrick. And we transition over to Kevin Kittleman, your AM class winner today, standing by with our Austin Knight.
Kevin, what a race. You finished third out there, top of the amateur standings. Once again, it's another AM win for you, but third on the podium. You were going for that overall win, weren't you?
To be honest, like I was thinking about it, to be completely honest, but then in the end I was like, hey, I gotta help Navarro for his championship fight, so it would be the best if I stick behind him if he finishes first and I came home in second, because like then we both make good points towards our championship campaign, and yeah, we both can be happy in the end. And finishing in P2 would have been perfectly fine for me.
Hey, you won your class and you're leading that championship by even more points today. So, hey, it's all about that overall picture heading into the finale next week. But what a race and what a finish! Walk us through what was going in your head heading into that final lap.
Oh my god, like I actually gotta tell you a little bit more than just the final lap, because like the last 10 laps I keep it short, but I'm gonna talk about the last 10 laps because Andrew and me, we didn't went in for the tires on the last caution, so we stayed out. So we had a little bit of a disadvantage towards the other competitors who took like new tires and everything. And I just think from my like perspective, I overdrove the fronts a little bit towards the end, because I noticed like I was flat out through 1 and 2, 3 and 4 every single lap, and like the car just naturally slid up to the top. So yeah, I wasn't quite able to fight the wannabe SRT guys who were fast out there today, unbelievable fast. So yeah, that's why I ended up in P5 in the end, and I haven't watched the replay yet, but it looked kind of brutal what happened at the end between Navarro and who was it? I think Alessandro. So yeah, it was just like like Fred Keselowski always said it, or like said it in the past. Like I keep telling those guys I'm not lifting, and especially not when you're going to the checkered, you know. So I was just keeping my foot in, trying to navigate through, and yeah, in the end, managed to get through.
You managed to get through, and hey, you stand on the podium and you stand on top of the amateur standings. Believe you're leading the AM championship by 13 points. That is shooting way up there now, because I do not believe your rival was here this week. They'll obviously get the drop week applied, but oh, that's more points to you, buddy. And so before I let you go and get ready for our season finale next week, anyone you want to thank?
Of course, the whole Indie Autosport team, the Lunatic Esports guys, and our sponsors, Martin Sports. Who else do we have there? SimRacer Coin, Sim Thunder. So yeah, and of course all the friends and family who has been watching.
All right.
And to you guys.
Oh, thank you, thank you. They're all very proud of you. We're proud of you too up here in the booth. You're giving us a lot of show, even though we're driving backwards in qualifying, which made me lose my mind.
Yeah, I was a bit frustrated during qualifying because like although the qualifying times were so close, I still couldn't get like the final 10s in, you know. So on the last lap, I was just like, yeah, whatever, go for it, and going backwards like Alessandro did it. So yeah, but thank you for the kind words.
All right, thank you, Kevin. You have yourself a great afternoon. We'll see you next week.
You too, thank you.
And I think we're standing by now with a driver that might need to put on some shades and get ready for next week, and might have a hit list. Alessandro Dalladone. Oh, so unfortunate to see what happened to you right there.
It was unfortunate, but that's racing, you know. shit happens. I'm lucky to finish the race, and thank God I'm not running for the championship, unlike someone else. So I think someone else got a pretty hefty hit on points, and will be having also a look from the stewards. I don't know. I haven't checked the replay. So yeah, but I'm super happy for Sam. Our strategy worked beautifully as usual. I knew that
tires really helped you right there in the on the restart. You were just storming up through the field, and if there wasn't a block by Motos, I think he would have had the lead heading into the final lap.
Yeah, it was easy, but Motos decided to go for his life, and thank God I lifted up. I don't know why. I should have just run him over, to be fair, but it was too good to be true, and in the end, it was fun. And I'm looking so much forward for Phoenix because, hey, it's the last race of the year. I want to end up on I and not in a order. So we'll see.
All right. Well, it was a unfortunate end to the race, but a very good race up to the last lap. So we are looking forward to see if you can make that win at the end of Phoenix or just try to make something happen. Good race overall. Before let's go, Alessandro, anyone you want to thank?
Well, first of all, thanks to Max Wolf for pushing me under caution to get my track fixed, because ultimately that's why I ended up on the lead lap and I managed to push Dan Sam on the pit road towards the last caution, so he could get his faster pad. And all the Kairos, Evo, SR, and guys over there helping each other out during the race. It was a lot of fun, and I bet it's gonna be even funnier next week.
All right, well, big excitement for next week, and we're gonna throw it over to Josh as we get ready for Phoenix. Josh, what's heading on?
Well, we are getting ready for the championship finale, and pro standings now starting to get a little bit closer, and standings starting to get a little bit wider, but everything will be decided in 1 week's time from iRacing's virtual Phoenix Raceway. You can catch that broadcast exactly same time as this one next Thursday when we go live, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. GMT. Make sure that you subscribe here on YouTube, hit that notification bell to get notified whenever we go live here on Apex Racing TV. As well, follow us wherever you can find us on social media at Apex Racing TV. For Marco Barbonero down in the virtual production trailer, for my colleague in the booth, Austin Knight, my name is Joshua Lee. Thank you for tuning into round number 7 of the Apex Racing League Truck Series, and we will see you for the finale round of the inaugural season of the championship next week from Virtual Phoenix.